Hi everyone, Annie here with Stamp Anniething, and I am very late to post this one this month, but this is going to be our Emerald Annie's Jewel School. So we're going to do this beautiful emerald and diamond ring. So I'm just going to zoom in here for you, and we will start with our golds for the ring of our ring here. And I'm going to be using E97, YR23, Y17, and Y21, and in that order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my darkest color, which is going to be my E97, and I'm just going to lay where I want the dark areas of the gold to be hitting. So I'm going to be going around the band of the ring. I'm going to get in these little corners here, and then a little coming off the side of the band there, and right under this line to start getting a curve going. And then on the inside part of the ring, we are going to come down from the side there. I'm going to make a gap, and I'm just going to make a little squiggle rectangle, space it a little so it's where the curve is going, where it's going to be, the light would be mostly in the center, and then it's going to be going around back into this area, kind of mirror imaging what we did on the other side. And the same thing here. Going to pull down in this little crack and crevice here. We're going to come up from the outside of the ring a little there, and then along that line. Okay, and the diamonds are going to be held by prongs, so what's in between the prongs we can also just do in the darkest color, because those would not be hitting any light. So that was with our E97, and now I'm going to go in with my YR23, and I'm just going to extend out on all of these colors. So I'm just going to hit the edges and extend out just to soften the edges. And I'm not going to go too far because I still want to make sure that I'm leaving gaps where I want this light shine to come through. So I'm going to go a little going off on this way and a little going off on that way on those rectangles we put down. And I'm just going to follow the same on the other one, and you should see that the colors are melding together a bit, so you just don't have a harsh line from where that E97 was. Next, we're going to go in with our Y17, which is going to start bringing in more of the goldy yellows. Ooh. Sorry, my fan is blowing off my reference sheet. And here we go. We're just gonna start coming around that corner, and we're gonna do our little rectangle, but we're gonna leave a little bit of space in between. In the center one, it's gonna be a little bit of a bigger space of white that's left, but that side piece is still gonna be small. So it's smaller, a larger one, and then a smaller one. And then we also want to make sure that we get some of this bottom band also colored in. And then we can go ahead and add some to the side. Just kind of, again, mirror imaging what we have on the other side. And then our final color, which is going to be our lightest yellow, which is our Y21, is what's going to basically fill in on all of the whites and catch all of the highlights of the ring as it's going around. So you can kind of get that feel of where the light is hitting in the shadows. And my son's television is on, so let me just go hit the volume off of that real quick. Excuse me for a moment. Okay, sorry about that. So there is our gold band, and now we're going to start on our beautiful emerald. We will be using a few more of the gold to make those little prong pieces, but they're not going to have a lot of detail in them because you're not going to really even notice them to have too much highlights or shadows. Okay, so for our emerald piece, we're going to be using G28, G05, G02, and YG03. So I'm going to first start in with my darkest color, which is my G28. And I am going to be putting down in varying areas the darkest green. And I'm going to kind of keep them all that the darkest is going to be on the right of each of the sections that I end up coloring. So I'm going to, that first little rectangle there, I want this to kind of catch a little bit more light, so I'm just going to do a little bit there. And then I'm going to put some in this triangle here. Well, rectangle, I don't know why I said triangle, I missed the triangle. Just in various areas. And I am trying to use like a streaky motion just so that I can get it to blend out a little bit better when I am putting my other colors on there. I'm going to fill in most of this bottom piece here because that's where it would be the darkest, and around this little clamp. And then we're going to go on this farthest one here. And I think that should do it. I'm going to actually, let's extend this one out a little bit more. Okay, so just a few areas where we're laying down that darkest color. And then I'm going to go in with G05, and I'm going to just hit those edges and extend it, but not crazy. I'm still trying not to fill in all of those areas that have the darker green. I'm just trying to extend it so that they will meld together, so I don't have like this very, very harsh line. And we're going to fill in that top corner, extend that down. And just everywhere that you've put it, we're just going to be blending it out a little bit more. And then above and to the sides. And then we're going to go in with our G02 and basically do the same thing. And then where we end up leaving white areas is where it's going to catch the most light, and that's what we'll fill in with our lightest color. So again, I don't want to color in all of the areas. I just want, you can kind of see when you're doing this part where the white areas is left on your page, and this is how you'll know if you want to add more or less. But this, it will be able to show you, you can kind of see where your highlights are going to hit already with your lightest color. And then you go in with your finest, your YG03, and you will have to work this a little bit more because it is a jump in colors just to get it to blend. So I'm just doing a circular motion and I'm going over all of it. And I love the green family in the alcohol markers because I just think you really can't mess them up. They just blend together so, so well. And you should be able to see how it's catching the light of that emerald. Very, very pretty, and we love it. Okay, I am going to go back. What I didn't realize, there's the 4 big prongs and then all the little prongs around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my E97 again, and on the 4 bottom prongs, I'm just going to hit up, I'm sorry, the 2 lower prongs, and then it's got this little base of the gold. And then I'm just going to do on the right and bottom sides of those 4 pieces there. And then with my YR23, just kind of smooth and blend it out. And then my Y17, oops, wrong side, Y17, sorry about that. Just finish it And I'm also going to take the Y17 and all of the little other prongs that are just kind of holding in our diamonds. I'm just going to fill in with the Y17. Again, not putting detail in these little circles. You can always add a highlight with a colored pencil if you'd like, but they're not anything that's really going to get a lot of attention on there, so you don't have to waste time trying to fill in those little tiny dots. Okay, now we're going to just do our diamonds, which we've done before. We've done diamonds in the past, and they are small, and these are going to be quick and easy ones to do. So I'm starting with my C4, and again, I'm just going to go on the right side of all of the diamonds that are on this right panel, and then I'm going to start curving them so it goes right side bottom on those bottom ones, and then it's going to be right side again on these left ones so that the light is catching it all on the same side, and then it's going to be bottom right on the tops as well. Just a little line of your color. And then you're going to take B00 just to start adding a little color. Go right on top of that gray and extend it out just a small smidge. If you go too far, they're not going to read as diamonds, they're going to read muddy. So you just want to really go right on top of that gray color and one line outside it, like so. And then you're going to take B000, and now you're going to fill in about halfway of the diamond. So you still have half of it pretty much reading white. And then your final is your B000. And just go over that white area. It's a very subtle color, so it'll make it still read that it's white instead of a light blue. And that is all there is to it. For these stars, you can choose to do those also in like the diamondy color if you want. So back with your C4, just go down the right side. Then in with your B00, extending it. You can do this in the yellow color tones as well if you'd rather them be a gold tone star. It's whatever you prefer. And then we have our B000, which basically is halfway of the star. And then your B quad, filling it in. And it's as simple as that. And there is your beautiful emerald shiny ring. Again, I apologize that this one dropped super late. We have a lot of things going on with getting ready for our retreat, and I had to cut all the kits, and then I'm traveling to Canada for it, so then I have to start packing everything. So I do apologize how late we are, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you. I'm going to do the June one. No, this was May. I'm going to do the June one right now as well, so at least it's ready to go for when we're gone, so we can post it up for you. Thanks, and have a great day.